Hello everyone and welcome to Fairly Adventurous, a channel where average guys play tabletop RPGs for our own amusement, and hopefully yours as well. I am your host Jacob, and I'm here to tell you about an upcoming project we are working on called Halo 2 ODST. Anyone who knows me knows that I am a huge Halo fan, and so before we jump back into our D&D game for Season 2 of Coasthold, I wanted to take a break and try something new. And by new, I mean totally new. This game is not available for purchase, and it wasn't built by a professional game company. I designed it. I designed the combat system for it, I wrote the character abilities, I did the weapon balancing, all of it. And luckily, my good friends were willing to play test it with me while recording for you all to hopefully enjoy as well. Halo 2 ODST is not so much an RPG as much as it is a dungeon crawler. Think of it as only the combat of an RPG, with the story being narrated to you as the missions progress, like you would see in a video game, for example. Our particular story will follow two squads of orbital drop shock troopers attached to an amber Clad during the Battle of Earth and the Battle of Installation 05. If that doesn't sound very appealing to you, then no hard feelings, thank you for checking us out, and have a nice day. If it does seem like something you would enjoy, then keep watching as I give you a brief rundown of how the game works. This game sees one team of players each controlling an ODST versus the game master controlling the Covenant forces set against them. If a player character drops below max health, they take an injury, which will negatively impact their performance. If they take 3 injuries during a single mission, their character is forced to retire and they are not able to activate on future rounds. If an enemy figure drops below max health, they are removed from the field. There is no initiative order like there would normally be in an RPG. Instead, the two teams take turns activating. Each player or enemy lance can only activate once during a round. When a new round begins, all players and lances refresh and the action continues again. When a player activates, they control just their ODST figure. When it is the GM's turn, they activate a lance. A lance is a group of enemy units that will take their actions during the same activation before the ODST team gets to activate their next player. Every figure has 4 action points that they can spend on their activation to move, attack, or interact with the environment. Some actions will take 1 action point, others will take more, but no action can be taken more than twice during an activation, even if you have the action points available to spend on it. Some objectives throughout the game will have players make skill checks to succeed. Each figure has 4 skills: athletics, dexterity, technical, and cognitive. If a check is required, the players will roll a d100 to try and get below their ability score. For every 10 points below the skill score, the figure earns an additional success towards the check. Some checks require multiple successes in a single roll, others state a goal that cumulative successes will count towards before it can be considered passed. The higher the score, the better the chances are of the figure passing or getting additional successes. The opposite is true when making an attack roll, however. Rather than basing the success difficulty off a figure's skill rating, the difficulty is based off the accuracy of the weapon being used to make the attack. So if you have a weapon with an accuracy of 5, the difficulty of the attack increases by 5 for every tile between the attacking figure and the target. The attacking figure must then make a d100 roll, add any applicable modifiers, and hope the results are equal to or greater than the difficulty. For every 10 points above the difficulty value, the weapon scores an additional hit, up to the weapon's precision value. So a sniper can only hit once per attack, but an SMG can score up to 6 hits per attack. As the game progresses, the player characters will earn experience points that can be traded in to unlock special abilities. Each trooper has 3 ability trees. One is standard across all players. The second tree gives each player a choice between one of 3 roles: Space Assault, Scout, and Support, and the final tree is also a choice between 3 different trees that are dependent on the role the player selected. Each of these specialty trees will continue to differentiate the player's character from their squad mates. Each tree has 4 tiers of abilities. Tier 1 abilities cost 1 XP to unlock, Tier 2 cost 2, and so on and so forth. One thing to note is that you do not have to unlock the Tier 1 ability to get the higher level ones. If you have the XP to spend, you can purchase the 4th tier ability in a tree and then never buy anything else from that tree. Additionally, each tree has a primary and secondary skill associated with it. Whenever you spend points to unlock abilities in that tree, you also upgrade the scores for the associated skills. That matters when making skill checks, but also for determining focus and stamina points. Focus and stamina points can be used to augment your actions in the game. Stamina can be spent to lower the results of physical skill checks, as well as gain extra movement. And focus can be used to lower the results of a mental skill check or increase the results of a weapon attack roll. Some abilities also require the use of stamina or focus to activate. There is more to the game, like equipment usage and storage, conditions and objectives, but you should be able to pick it up as the season goes on. What I just described should be enough for now, so if it sounds like something that would interest you, join us on March 7th for the premiere of Halo 2 ODST, and consider subscribing to the channel. I've been your host, Jacob. Thank you for your consideration, and I hope to see you soon.